Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
We are here today with Cat Izzo from Zach's season of The Bachelor. Bachelor in Paradise.
Season 9.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, I think
season 9. And you just got released. Well, the cast got released, and you're part of the cast of the new up and coming season of Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, season 10.
Welcome.
Back-to-back seasons, eh? Because I guess they took the year off. I didn't even think about that. You are technically going to be on back-to-back seasons.
Technically on back-to-back seasons, but happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course.
What? Why did you do it? Why? Why did you do this to yourself, Kat?
I just really needed to have some emotional aggression on TV again. It just sounded, appealing. Delusion's powerful. But no, I really, when they asked me to do it, I was obviously hesitant because it's not been the best experiences, first couple rounds. But I've grown a lot over the last 2 years. It sounded like it was going to be a very different experience than previous ones. And I think when I thought about it, if I were to have said no, and just you can't say no to things, you have to at least try it out and see what happens and see what comes out of it. And I was going in with a very different mentality than I think prior. So just wanted to see what was going to come from it.
Okay, let's do a little bit of a catch up because I do remember you, for the most part, from what I remember, you kind of carried the season, the last Paradise. You were bringing the entertainment for sure.
Yeah, that was definitely the case. Yeah.
At the end of that Paradise, you get engaged to John Henry, which was kind of out of left field. Like it seemed like you got together near the end. You got engaged after the show. You call the engagement off. What have you been doing since then? Have you been dating? I think you were in a relationship prior to this, correct?
Yeah. So me and John Henry broke up pretty close to when it was done airing. So that was, I want to say around December, end of November of 2023. So I always had plans to move to San Diego once I finished my NP boards. That's what I was kind of studying for during airing. So we broke up, I passed my MP boards, and I moved to California 2 days later. And then kind of just got settled in San Diego, took a really long break when it came to keeping up with the show. I just kind of wanted to focus on myself and start my career out here and meet new friends. I did get into a relationship around 6 months after that. And then that also ended 6 months after that. So literally back to back year, I had a relationship end on the same week.
That's wild.
We don't like the holidays because that's literally was when they both happened. But it's been really amazing, moving to California. The people here are incredible. I love my job. I've been working as a nurse practitioner now for about 1.5 years, working in my dream field of aesthetics, and kind of just been living my best life, if you can say. It's definitely come with some ups and downs, but overall, it's been a pretty good 1.5 years since I've been here.
Yeah, because I remember you were studying for your MP boards when you came on last time, which was kind of right before Paradise ended, I think. Yeah. Did you write those before or after the breakup?
Did I take them?
Yeah.
I took it. I had to push back the testing date because my mental health was so compromised. So I ended up taking it in Florida, right after the breakup.
Okay, and, so big pocket of life for you emotionally.
Oh, everything.
And mentally.
Yeah, everything. It was a lot. But it was kind of a way to be you're not going to, nothing is going to bring me down. I'm still going to keep doing what I was put on this earth to do. So, yeah, it's been great.
Can you, and feel free to say no if you don't want to talk about any of these things, but why did you and John Henry break up?
Nothing serious that happened. I think through the airing of the show, we started to learn more about how we each, I think, handle conflict and adversity. And we just were not going to, it wasn't my choice, but it ultimately ended up being something probably for the best. It was under the umbrella of incompatibility, but we didn't really have like any major like fights or anything like that. I just think it just got too much. And he wanted to go into a different career path than originally we both thought he would want to do, which ultimately led him to Hawaii. And it just happened at a really like hard time emotionally with everything else that was going on. But overall, it just, we're two good people, but we're definitely not each other's people. And I think moments like how the show aired and how everything went down with our relationship really shows us what you can handle and if you're going to be compatible long term.
When you guys got engaged, was there a part of you that was like, oh, I don't know. No. So you believe?
No, yeah, I believed all. I will believe everything. No, I literally was like, this is my person. Now looking back, I'm like, I don't think so. But I was like a very different person. Like, I think that I just was such like I wanted a relationship so badly. I saw that for myself. And like, I was willing to believe anything, even though there was signs in front of me that was saying, this is not going to make sense. And I think it took something as extreme as that for me to like really sit back and evaluate like how I see people and see the world. And now I tread a little bit lighter. But yeah, no, I fully believed that we were like
destined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to marry this man. This is my husband.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So watching watching it back and seeing what he was saying, I didn't know he said any of that. He didn't tell me that. So I was like, you just broke up with me and you already had doubts. Like, I should have known.
Yeah. Well,
it was wild.
That's good information for the upcoming season of, of Paradise. Your past relationship, the one that was 6 months and ended, can you tell us why that ended?
Or like, how'd you guys meet even?
We just met through mutual friends. It was one of those relationships that I think is going to probably help me learn the most about myself that I've ever experienced. I have nothing negative to say about it. It was, it had its ups and downs. It just, again, I don't think that we were in the place of each other's lives where it was going to be sustainable, but it was not the healthiest. I think you could agree. I think we just triggered a lot of each other's wounds, but in that you learn about yourself in your 20s. That's what it's about. So I used that to really be like a catalyst into some deep therapy. So that was really helpful.
You seem to have done a lot of work on yourself. I know you've referenced therapy a few times. What specifically is that work? Like, what have you been focusing on, and what do you hope to do differently going into Paradise this time?
I think just being curious and like truly like doing an internal assessment of your triggers, who you are, and like things are going to come up that you're not going to like, but not using that to like not deter you from keep learning more. And just showing up in the world with a little bit more awareness and like compassion and self-love. I really did like deep therapy with EMDR recently in the last 6 months. And that's been the most beneficial. It's, supposed to help with all my things. And it really has helped a lot. But I think just learning how to like ground myself in moments of high stress, being less reactive, because ultimately that's, I think, was just my default state, and learning to like take that pause. And that's, I think, what really helped in talking through and understanding yourself.
Do you have any, who do you hang out with? And you're in San Diego?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any like Bachelor friends or anything like that?
I'm still friends with Kylie. See her pretty often. Some of the other girls, we grew apart, but still like see each other and like do different things. It's just San Diego's like such a community based area. Everybody like becomes friends so easily, and people here are really welcoming. So I have such amazing friends here. I actually like met Jess Edwards like a month before we went on Paradise together, and we're like kind of have the same mutual friends. And so she's been one of my good friends and good friend throughout. So it's pretty much like everybody that's like in the wellness like space, I would say, kind of all hang out in the same spot.
Do you love San Diego? Do you think you'll stay there?
For now, yeah, for sure. It's a really good, I would say, place for where I was at when it came to career. And then I just love the community aspect of it. Everyone's very welcoming. I mean, it's still California, so there's still like fake energy, but the real ones stick together. So
nice. Okay, so how your relationship ends.
Yeah.
And you get a phone call for Paradise. What's the timeline from the relationship ending to the phone call of, hey, would you be interested in coming on Paradise?
I don't remember when they called me. It was this year. I mean, at first I was like, I'm not going on Paradise. Me and my most relationship, we broke up around November, kind of lived in limbo until maybe like January, February. I can't remember. Sometime it's all a blur. But they called me, I want to say like around March or April. I can't remember. Somewhere around like springtime. But I was like, I needed a lot of convincing. Like I was not just like, yeah, I'll do it. Like I needed them to like really make me feel comfortable about putting myself back in that environment. And it was definitely something that I decided to do very last minute, because I was still, every time I say yes, I'd be like, no, I can't do that again. Like I'm scared.
So what was it? What was the deal breaker?
I think I really was just like, if I say no and regret it, like it's not something I want to like regret. But like, what if there was someone there actually that I could meet, or an experience that could be helpful for me to understand myself again? You know, it's not something you really say no to. But it was mostly convincing me with the air conditioning. I was like, you have to promise that there is air conditioning, otherwise I'm not going. Like I'm not doing it. And every time I asked, that was how I started the conversation.
Yeah, and you got what you wished for.
They lived up for it, like, I didn't know what was true or not, but I also said, I have the ability to literally, like, if it's not what I want, I could just leave. Like, I don't have to stay. And I was going in knowing literally no one, knowing nothing about the shows. I haven't been watching. So like, it was just a completely different mindset versus like knowing every single thing about every guy on Paradise last time and being friends with the girls. So I wanted to kind of just like see how that was going to play out.
What did your friends and family say when you were like, I think I'm going to go back on Paradise this year?
Some of them were like, absolutely not. Please don't, because we can't handle that again. But some were like, you should just go for it. And you have a lot more, like, you're a different person, and I think you'd handle it differently. And why would you say no to something like that? But yeah, I immediately texted my little group chat and I was like, help, SOS. I don't know if I should do so.
What was your biggest fear going back on?
Oh, my biggest fear, so many. Well, I just learned that people are very different outside of the show. And I think I was mostly just like scared I was going to get wrapped up in it again and then end up getting hurt when I came off it. I knew there was bugs, so I can't be afraid of that. But it was mostly just like the trusting someone again, and it be to my detriment, and making sure that I don't get wrapped up in it. All the things, and just making sure I can like stay grounded.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where once you're in this world and you are single, it really is like it's hard to say no, because it's just like,
yeah,
it's just easier to say yes, and it's one of those things where it's like, I agree with you. Yeah. And that's probably why I've always said yes as well. It's just like, I don't want to live with the regret.
You're probably like, I'm more likely going to regret not doing this than doing it when it comes down to it.
Yeah. It's just, I think I was so scared that, you're putting yourself out there to be analyzed, criticized, picked apart, just like overall judged. Like that was really, really hard on my mental health, and it was hard to feel my character be misunderstood. So I think I just like didn't know if I was like willing to, like, I'm very happy with where I'm at in life, and I didn't know if I wanted to kind of like, uproot it, put that under a microscope again and be subject to
judgment.
Yeah.
Do you have a plan going into this season of how you'll handle being judged negatively by people? Because I agree. I mean, it's not easy.
It's not. I think also I understand it more. Like the first time around, I didn't understand the way that public response is, or how people like it's just I didn't know that this was something that people face to this extent, and not taking it so personally, keeping your people close and knowing that that's what matters. I have a really good support team and system in place. So, and I just don't care. Like I don't feel the desire to look at it or see it and use that to determine my worth the way I think I did before. Cause I was just so like, what's happening?
Yeah. And
but
it goes away. I mean, it
and
does
then,
go
now
away.
I know that it is temporary. Like
Yeah.
at the time you feel like it's never going to end and this is something you're going to deal with the rest of your life. But now that I know that it comes in waves, you can handle a wave. I can handle any wave.
You're the first contestant. You're the first contestant that we are interviewing that's been on Paradise before.
Okay.
Living conditions.
Oh my gosh.
What's like much better? Because I've heard we're hearing much better. Okay.
Completely. Oh my God. Like incredible. Like
Really?
actually
Wow.
completely different.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much I can share, but it is nothing like previous Paradise. Absolutely not. Like it really just shows like how much your mental health can be like so much better when you can do your hair and your makeup, not in humidity. It really makes a difference. Like, or just to be able to have somewhere to escape to like take a breath and like cool down. It was so much better. You had just a bed to sleep in that you didn't have to step outside your bed and there's sand on the ground, or you shower and you feel clean. Like truly, it was like little things like that. Like you actually can like feel clean and refreshed. And then you just feel more like your better self. Like I didn't shower I showered like 3 times a day just to cool off. And then you would step outside the shower and there's sand like on the floor. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Well, I just saw a clip. We just saw a clip of each other, and I was like, my face is so fucking oily. It looks like I haven't seen a shower. Like I got engaged. I wasn't even matching. Like nothing matched. Like I was like, the mirrors, you couldn't even really see yourself because they were always fogged.
No, you couldn't.
There was no mirrors. I used like the small compact like thing in my like eyeshadow palette, like to see. And like just sitting there trying not to like I didn't do my hair on previous Paradise. I couldn't do my makeup. Like it was
no, you just had to give up.
No point.
You just had to give up.
Yeah, you just live life like that. I'm like, I need to actually take a second to take care of myself this time because last time people saw me on TV, I was like a rat.
Well, you also probably just feel sexier too to like go out and flirt with boys when you're like,
100%.
I feel cute and I like feel
good.
clean.
Yeah. Yes, you could self-tan and it not start sweating off. Like I was like actually able to do my self-tan routine. Like it was amazing. It was so much better. It was like during the wedding episode of Mari and kind of getting married, like I had self-tanner sitting like on me, like fresh. Because I'm pale right now and I can't do anything about it. And
well,
it was
it's almost too hot to lay in the sun. Like I don't really get that tan on Paradise because it's so hot.
Yeah, no, I don't lay in the sun ever. But I wouldn't be able to because it's just too hot. But also the weather in Costa Rica was different. Like I think because it rained more, that there was so much more of a cool breeze than like our season. We had no rain, so it was like just constantly like hot and humid the entire time. Like there was no breeze. Yeah. So there was like a consistent breeze, and I kind of loved when it rained because then we could go inside and cool off.
You're an inside girl. You really are.
I'm an outside girl in the right conditions. Like I'm outside all the time in San Diego because it's like 67 right now and nice.
Okay.
But
San Diego's like the best weather in the
it's so
great
right now. Yeah, the summer here is unreal. But yeah, no, anywhere else, yeah, I'm inside. I prefer the indoors. No more UV.
We see that the cast has obviously dropped. We know, we don't know who's coming, but we know who's down there day one. Was there anyone that you were nervous or excited to see?
I didn't know anybody like going in. I didn't know who was going. I didn't know who could potentially be there. So I guess I was just nervous because like I didn't know what to expect, but I really didn't know anyone that was going to be there or when they would be there or anything.
But when you saw them, did you know who some of them were? Like that first day? Like
I knew who Jonathan was because I've seen him in San Diego. Didn't know Jeremy, didn't know Spencer. Like I had no idea who these people were.
How about the Goldens? Did you have any clue who any of them would be?
So weirdly enough, the weekend before was Stagecoach. I like finished Stagecoach and got on a plane. I met Keith in the middle of T-Pain, like front row, like watching T-Pain. I was like, wait, what? And then he's like, I'm going too. And I was like, wait, this is so funny. You're so cool. And like, I can't wait to be on the beach with you.
That's hilarious. We love Keith.
But that's it. I didn't know anyone else.
Okay. Were you more excited about that, or were you kind of like, oh, I wish I had like one girl here that I could?
Well, I did. I had Jess. Jess Edwards, but honestly, no. I think it really ended up affecting how we all moved in Paradise, like having, that like underlying friendship and like knowing what everyone was, who they wanted, because then nobody wanted to like act for themselves in a way. So I loved that every friendship was going to start off fresh, and I can pretty much become friends with anybody, especially girlies. So I figured everyone was going to be someone that I became friends with in the moment.
What? You got something?
I was gonna say, you got something? Yeah, I got something.
All right. Well, I got something too. So.
All right.
In terms of a relationship, what were you looking for?
God damn it! That was literally that was where I was. I was gonna say
Really?
qualities you're looking for, but okay.
Okay, we're
Wow.
really in sync
Wow.
today.
Same.
Same wavelength. I was like really just looking for an adult, somebody that was like
Keith.
Listen, they might not be of age, but you don't know. They could still just be man children.
That's true.
I really just wanted somebody that has lived enough life, I think, to be able to be like a good supportive partner and like take life seriously with me. Someone I could like trust was going to be there for me through the ups and downs, and mostly just qualities of compassion and kindness to everybody, and like truly like authentic, like who they are is who they say they are. There's no like people pleasing. There's no like, I want to be this way to be that way. Like just be yourself and have fun. Obviously somebody that can laugh with me, but mostly somebody that at least was like above the age of 30, because usually their testosterone's down a little bit, so they're a little tired.
I'm trying, is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Testosterone starts.
Yeah,
start
I need
testosterone
someone
after
to be
30.
A little
I just
tired.
someone to not want to like go out every weekend, like take, just has their priorities intact, and nothing to say, like, I'm not like throwing shade. It's just like, I think I've learned through my relationships that that's where I'm at. And like, that's how I value my life and my priorities. And it's so much better when your person matches that, because then you're not like conflicting with each other on how you want to do life together.
Spend your Saturday. Yeah.
Right. So I really just wanted that. And then someone that thinks I'm funny. That's about it.
Was there anyone that you were worried about potentially being there, that you were like, I really hope I don't see this person on the beach?
Guys?
Anyone? Like did you? Yeah. Who were you beefing with on your season of Paradise?
I think Olivia wasn't very nice.
Oh, Olivia.
So
yeah.
I just I didn't want anything or anyone that was there to create some I guess just like chaos and drama, because when that happens, it really takes away from building a relationship with like your potential partner. So I just didn't want anyone that could potentially do that. I don't know if that would have been her MO, but there's still that worry of any of that. I called John Henry the moment I got my call. So I was like, are you going to be on this beach with me? I need to know.
Yeah.
So, and he told me he couldn't because of work and stuff. And then we caught up. So we're in a good place. But even if he was, it would have been fine. I was like, you should. Like this, whatever. We'll see. But no, I think that I have a little bit more confidence in how I handle things now, where I could weather a lot more than I could before.
Yeah. Going into this season, did you have any like I know you said you feel like you're going to handle things a lot differently this time. Did you have like any grounding techniques or specific things that you were like bringing in with you in your therapy
meditation
toolbox?
I
meditate personally.
I was journaling every day. I did not do that last time. Just to, you can get lost track of time. Days blend into each other, and just like keeping every day, I had to like go back and read where my thoughts are at. I checked in with the therapist like almost every 3 days while on set, just to ground myself, talk about how I'm feeling, make sure that everything seems like okay. Some EFT tapping on like your spots whenever you're feeling stressed, like you hit that and it like supposed to calm down your nervous system. Beta blockers are really great. I was taking that a few times. Just like, I don't know. But also like not taking it too seriously, like just having fun and like understanding that I took it so seriously before. And I think just like the new mindset can be new wonders for what can happen.
Were you open to an engagement this time, or were you more just like, I'm going to take my time, see where this goes, and I kind of want to just like leave in a relationship?
I did not go in saying I was going to leave engaged. That is it. I I definitely was not going in saying I was going to be engaged in any capacity.
Well, I will say, like, my second time around, I was more prepared to have the right conversations with Serena as far as just like how
Yes.
actually do we see this working
Yes,
after
that's a
this
good
show.
point. That is a good point.
And did you do that? Like,
Yes.
are you open to moving if that's the case?
Am I open to what?
Like, if you meet someone, are you open to potentially moving? Like,
Oh
all
yeah,
that?
I was asking. I knew way more about, I went in with a lot more awareness on like what I needed to ask and things I needed to like assess and how I needed to see how people handled situations than I did in the past. But you can only really do that if you've already lived it. And so that's pretty much how I approached it. So it wasn't just like blindly like, oh, you're cute and like you're funny and like this is gonna be great. We'll see what happens. Like, no, it was very, very like thought out.
Without giving too much away, obviously, how do you feel like this experience on Bachelor in Paradise for you was different from your first experience?
Air conditioning.
A laundry list. There's like from the environment, from the people, from like how I showed up, from just every like the beach, the creative, like the it was just fun. Like I had a really good time, I would say. We don't want to give everything away. We definitely came still with ups and downs. Like it's still, an environment where you're putting yourself out there to potentially be heard. And like, you don't know how it's going to end. And, but that's with everything. That's with life. So I just approached it from that perspective, but it was just so much more light. And who knows though? I'm delusional. Like I think I said that the first time too.
I can see you're freaking out already. You're freaking out already.
God, I'm freaking out because I'm saying it's positive and like I did that before and it was not. So I'm scared of my own brain.
That's fair.
I get that.
You don't want it to air and then be like, wait, this is what went down? This is how it came across?
You know what? I'd rather live life through rose-colored glasses. I don't care. I love being delusional. It's gotten me very far. So
I think it's gonna go. I mean, if I were to guess, I think it's gonna go good for you. But like then again, like I've been wrong. So I don't know for sure.
It all comes down to like how it's, I mean, I think I also like I remember so much of it, maybe just because I was journaling as often as I was, but like before the red light just turned on. Sorry about that. Before
it's a bad sign, red.
No,
it's like
the alarm red light in the other room, but it's kind of
you like pink. It's cute.
Yeah, it's a cute hue. No, I remember like how it wasn't just like lost in the sauce. I think I was very like, I know what's going on.
Present. How was having the Goldens down there?
Oh, it was so fun. It was a great, great choice. Like, good job, producers. Like, it was incredible. They just like, when you're at that age, you just don't care. So it was like, they're not worried about Instagram followers or how they're like going to look or their brand. Like, they're just actually like so authentic in who they are. And they gave us a lot of insight to just like life. And I got to learn about so many of their different stories and things that they've experienced. And I feel like that put into perspective, like where we're all at now and kind of just take things a little less like intensely. But they were just so fun. They were hilarious. They did not care. They had a great time. They made us loosen up actually.
How was having Hannah Brown there?
It was really fun too. She was like kind of like a girly. She was there mostly during rose ceremony nights and stuff, and just kind of someone to like tell the tea to and see how she experienced stuff. It was also for me, like she's done the show in different ways and been part of it. So I felt like I could connect with her in that way and understand like if I'm on the verge of having a crash out, like, is this valid? I'm down to be brought back down to earth. And she was there for that.
If after watching this current season, what do you want the viewers to learn about who you are as a person?
Oh, I don't know. That's scary. I guess just like that I am human. Like I'm a very like normal girl living a very normal life. And you can also see where like whatever happens in your life, like stages and seasons, does not have to define you in any capacity. Like you have that autonomy to change how you go through life. And I think that that's going to be shown. And that's also just something I've kind of done my entire life. So maybe just that, and like that I'm just like a normal girly and like live more delusional. It's a lot easier that way. Like,
This is true.
be yourself. Like stop. Like just I'm accidentally authentic to a fault, and nobody should ever be ashamed of that. Like own it.
If you could tease this upcoming season of Paradise in a few words,
Oh gosh.
what would you do? What would you say?
Oh, it is different, fun, and more aesthetically pleasing, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah, the teasers are looking really good.
It's much more aesthetically pleasing.
Even like the headshots.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, everything is elevated. And
I'm actually not okay
excited for that
with
part.
it.
Joe's jealous.
I'm
See,
jealous.
I knew there was going to be someone that like
Yeah.
wanted us to still look like little rats on the beach. Like
It's
they're like,
yeah.
Fuck,
full paradise, like of them like dying and like, no, this was really good. Never go back.
Wow.
No, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Well, Kat, we are really looking forward to watching you on
Thank
this
you.
upcoming season of Paradise. We wish you the best. I'm sure we'll hear from you again. Thank you so much for
Thanks for
hopping
having
on.
me, guys. Thank
Of
you.
course.
It's fun.
And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Bachelor Happy Hour. Make sure you download and subscribe to the podcast.
We have new exclusive interviews coming every single week as we tee up for the new season of Bachelor in Paradise airing very soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.